What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you some 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. Today we're talking about the Luna Wolves, which is... well, where do I start? They were a loyalist legion back during the before the Horus Heresy era, and then during the Horus Heresy, they became the Sons of Horus, and then after it, into the 40k universe, they are now known as the Black Legion. So, can you say identity crisis? But no, there's reasons as to why they're always switching colors, switching schemes, switching allegiance, and it all makes sense. If you follow the heresy and if you read the Black Library books following the Horus Heresy, you get tons of lore on them. There's notable characters in here. For example, you've got Horus, which is like the main character of the Horus Heresy. You've got also Abaddon, which is like the main antagonist to Gilliman currently in the lore. And then you talk about one of my favorite characters pre-40k, Garviel Loken. However, today we're just going to talk about the basics as to what the Luna Wolves as a legion, what they are, their belief system, and maybe a notable battle or two. So if you don't know about this legion, I highly recommend you look into it, and sit tight, because we are going deep into the lore of the Luna Wolves. The Luna Wolves are the Space Marine Legion raised by the Emperor on Terra during the dawn of the Great Crusade that took place in the late 30th millennium. After the Emperor discovered the Primarch Horus on the world of Sithonia, he gave him command of the Luna Wolves. Before the events that transpired during the Horus Heresy, the Luna Wolves were literally the best Space Marine fleet in the Emperor's command. Little to no other legion could match their achievements, and those that could barely rival them. It wasn't until the marvelous achievements of this legion during the battle against the Orcs during the Ulanor Crusade that the Emperor suggested that this legion be renamed the Sons of Horus to honor the War Master. And then the second name change finally took power once the Black Legion was formed via the Dark Gods infecting Horus's mind as well as the mind of his legion. The Luna Wolves also gained the nickname the Wolves of Terra because many of their neophytes were drawn from Terra itself. Though it is difficult to be certain based on the existing Imperial records from this lost time, many of these scripts indicate that this legion's early intake of neophytes came from the hunter clans of the Jitigran Bull and the Samsatian subplate slums, wherever that may be. When it came to battle, the Luna Wolves became instrumental in using sudden and overwhelming shock assaults. They were the swift persecution of the Emperor, and they were very infamous for their bloody termination campaigns. Once Horus became their Primarch, their homeworld shifted to that of Horus's homeworld, Sithonia. Now Sithonia is an ancient mining world that no longer exists, but apparently it had geostructural integrity and it broke apart into having asteroids and debris hit it following the Horus Heresy. When it comes to the gene seed of this legion, many thought that the gene seed was highly superior basically because it came from Horus, and Horus was the favorite of the Emperor. So because of this, it was considered to be the greatest gene seed of any of the Primarchs. However, after the corruption of Chaos, the Sons of Horus Legion Space Marines started to exhibit random genetic mutations, and it is likely that the taint of Chaos now affects their gene seed throughout all of the traitor legions as well. The fighting doctrine of the Luna Wolves. This legion was originally a flexible fighting force, able to adapt to almost any situation that occurred on the battlefield. This legion possessed an efficient chain of command, which often fell into disarray after its Primarch Horus was killed during the Battle of Terra. After the heresy, the Sons of Horus's discipline broke down completely. The Legion literally dissolved into a multitude of warbands, each led by a different Chaos champion who maintained his rule through the favor of the Dark Gods. Shortly after, the first captain, Ezekiel Abaddon, ultimately managed to restore and combine these warbands back into a Legion of Chaos Undivided, now known as the Black Legion. And with that being said, those were pretty much the basics to the Luna Wolves. Again, guys, I highly recommend you dive into the full lore of this chapter because there's just so much rich lore behind it. This chapter is instrumental in basically paving the road to what would become the Warhammer 40k world that we now know. Because of this, they kind of shaped Horus, or Horus shaped them. There's just so much that occurred here. In the coming days, I'm going to be making a 40 facts on one of my favorite Astartes, Loken. So stay subscribed for that. Also, let me know down below if you guys have ever played as the Luna Wolves. And that's all I've got for today. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, comment down below, like, and subscribe. As always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, and I'll see you next time.